Recently, the Hyperloop demonstrated just how easy it is to build hundreds of miles of vacuum tunnel.
Billed as the fastest way to cross the surface of the Earth, Hyperloop represents the greatest leap in transport infrastructure for generations.
And to transport people through that vacuum tunnel with prices from Los Angeles to Beijing cheaper than $20 and a transport time of less than 15 minutes. And it's exactly for reasons like this that Elon Musk is greeted like a rock star.
Elon Musk is greeted like a rock star as he emerges from a Tesla in his test tunnel in Hawthorne.
Well, what if you could use that exact same system, not to transport people, but to generate an infinite amount of clean, free power? That might be a closer reality than you think. A recent development in a field called thermodynamics has enabled a new invention called a heat engine. One variant of this heat engine is called the Hydrovac, and its inventor, Professor Mason, recently revealed its revolutionary design to the world. Mason, pictured here using the telescope he uses to communicate with aliens, has worked tirelessly on the Hydrovac for some 25 years, and only recently made the breakthrough that allows this technology to be implemented on an industrial scale. The principle of the Hydrovac is simple. Water evaporates into a vacuum to give something called a vapor pressure. If the water is then condensed, water travels from point A to point B at almost the speed of sound. A point that can be vividly demonstrated by actually making one of these devices and cooling one of the bulbs down to about minus 50 Celsius.
However, once you immerse this flask at minus 40, the water will instantly freeze on here and the vapor pressure on this one will go to 0, which means the gas will absolutely scream across. There we go, tap is fully open. Let's see what this does for us. Boom, look at that! Goes absolutely ballistic almost instantly. In fact, I might destroy it here. Yeah, I'm going to have to close the tap partially because it's going so fast. It really is going absolutely honkingly fast.
This supersonic gas can then be used to spin turbines with a remarkable 99.74% efficiency, with a theoretical maximum of getting potentially 58% more efficient. Well, great news. The world has huge areas at this sort of temperature, minus 50, that sort of thing. They're called the poles. And great news, the world has large areas of water called oceans. All you need is a Hyperloop tube connecting one to the other, and boom, instant free renewable power.
I'm kinda broke, bruh. Yeah, no kidding. The economy is in the toilet. Do you realize how many thousands of jobs this could create and sustain? Talk about a hypodermic adrenaline shot to the heart of the manufacturing and infrastructure sector. And it pays for itself.
It's going to be here sooner than you think. In fact, world experts are already predicting that it'll be here at least 10 years sooner than the Hyperloop. And it's going to be 10 times cheaper to build than the Hyperloop. Plus, just like with the Hyperloop, you can add solar panels to it to make it even more efficient.
It's also extremely energy efficient due to solar power utilization. In fact, the Hyperloop could generate more power than it consumes.
But this is where you come in. This is a proven technology, but big coal and other energy giants are blocking the funding for the development of this idea.
But what people have to understand is that the people who run the energy business in this world, they control the newspapers, they control the governments.
The history of science is the history of the suppression of great inventions.
Indeed, Mason has already survived multiple assassination attempts by internet assassins.
US inventor Stan Myers released his water-powered car engine in 1988.
The Pentagon flew a lieutenant colonel in last week to look at Myers' invention. There's talk of possibly using it in the Star Wars defense program and to run army things.
My best friend was killed over this matter.
And has been denied patents that he never even applied for.
person that really understands what's going on just can't get their idea out because the alternative science and medical fields have been co-opted by the intelligence services.
He's gone into hiding from the Men in Black division who constantly suppress inventions like this that could free the world from the shackles of fossil fuels.
Has on his 16mm film of his lab test, which we've got here, he has guys with the black suits and black hats come into the place. You can see where the legends come from. I mean, these guys come in and they look like, you know, bad Bart to black man. I mean, it's just...
The sheer level of potential power generation of this device is literally unbelievable. Even when using real numbers, if a large enough heat engine was built and operated merely at 10% efficiency, it would supply 100 times more clean, free power than the entire power consumption of mankind. I mean, how awesome would that be to stop global warming in its tracks for merely the cost of a few tubes and some vacuum pumps and a little bit of water? And those are actually real numbers. Our goal is simple: clean, free energy for the world. I mean, how can that possibly be a bad thing? But we need your help to turn this prototype into our power plant. For Hydrovac promises to do for energy generation what the Hyperloop has done for transport.
It's as close to time travel as you're going to get. When hours become minutes, everything changes.
So why not support the development of this amazing new technology today? Because it's all but guaranteed that some cynical naysayer, someone who is just too scared of change, and they're going to come along with some claimed knowledge of science or thermodynamics or something, and with some smart aleck reason why this idea, which has already been demonstrated to work, can't actually solve the world's energy crisis. But there have always been cynics like this. They laughed at Copernicus. They laughed at the Wright brothers. They laughed at the Hyperloop and the idea of generating free water from air. We need you to believe.
You no longer need to be a scientist in the lab to be a part of building the future. By putting this technology in your hands, who knows what we can develop together? The wheel may finally have some competition.
Thanks for believing.
Because only with your help can we transform this prototype into a working, power-generating version that will allow the revolution to begin. We're asking merely for $100,000 because I can't figure out how to edit that to a sensible number. But I did figure out how to put it on fixed funding. So unless it actually makes it to 100K, I'm not getting a penny out of this. But whatever, for that I will actually make one of these things that's guaranteed to be 1000% more efficient than solar freaking roadways for 1/100th of the cost. And I'll even throw in the debunking for free.
Please follow the link to Indiegogo.com. Meet Scott and Julie Broussard, check out their work, and get informed. This isn't just donating, it's an investment in a real future. Let's do this, because finally, it's possible.